Nathan, can we start with any news on the medicals for Zach Butters?
Zach's having a scan almost as we speak, so we'll learn more about that later today. Bryn has had surgery, I think, already, so I think he's across at the club at the moment, so he'll miss the time. It's probably 6 to 8 weeks.
And Travis Blake?
Trav, I imagine we'll see again later this week, so he'll be released from H&S protocols and back at the club.
Any word on how he is?
I imagine he's fine. Yeah, I would have heard if he wasn't. So, yeah, that's all I know.
And how are you handling Robbie Gray this week?
Rob's out there running at the moment, so we're obviously having conversations with Rob along the way in terms of his fitness and then when he feels better to be able to play again.
So you've got a ruckman to allow you to have your forwards, players forwards. What do you do now?
We'll work it out as the week goes on. I think the good thing was we were able to adjust reasonably well in the second half. I thought Jeremy did a great job for us in the ruck. Sam supported him again in bits and pieces, and Todd played a little bit closer to goals, which was good for Todd.
Sam Hayes in that equation as well, or does he need more time than Sam?
Oh, Hayes is in that equation. Dante, who played SNFL yesterday, would be in that equation as well.
So your forwards have...
Sorry, keep going.
Sorry, thank you. Forwards haven't lit up the scoreboard for various reasons. What's your thinking on how to turn that scoring average up for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I think the game on Saturday was one of those ones where you hit 80 points halfway through the third quarter, and then you start to see some of the fatigue kick in a little bit from our team, and the reality of 7 goals in front and not needing to score a whole heap from there to win. I thought we defended really well as a team from that point of view. Maybe missed a couple of opportunities. Other than that, I think it's the more the guys play together, the better off they'll be. It was still scoring enough to win those games. I think there's more growth in us. I think playing Todd closer to goals helps. Charlie's looking like he's moving better. Jonesy Ford, I thought, applied some great pressure, and I thought we got some nice punch out of stoppage, particularly through Connor, and I thought Ollie probably played his best game for the year too.
Can you get more goals from the midfielders?
Yeah, we can. I think that we're not looking for huge change, but a little bit here and a little bit there will add up to something significant.
Has the emergence of Todd this year, I'm sure you won't say it surprised you, but has he become better than you thought he would become this year?
Look, I'm probably not looking to judge him from his overall work on the season. I think he's improving. I really liked his footwork and the way he moved on the weekend, the way he was able to instigate body contact on a very good player in Rampy and win some important contests. And his finish has been pretty well seen and regarded all season, which has been a big improvement for him. So look, I think he's growing nicely as a player, and he's getting closer to being that very good forward that we're looking for.
He's been described in the past as a bit of a confidence player. Do you think that having a block of this underneath him sort of removes the need to be a confidence player anymore?
Yeah, I think that people get described as confidence players when they don't play well often enough. And I think the good thing now is he's playing well often enough, and hopefully keeps playing well.
I think you said maybe a month ago you wanted to see him be the man a bit more and back himself,
yep.
And be a bit more selfish almost. Are you seeing that?
Yeah, I think we're all seeing that. We're trying to put him in more important positions, that he gets better one-on-one contests, closer to goals, because he's winning more than his fair share, and then he's finishing his work. So that's what you're looking for from your player that's playing closest to goals, and that's what he's offering us at the moment.
Is it still suspected MCL, just going back to Zach? Is that sort of what we're expecting, similar to what he did last year?
I think so, but we'll find out more later on.
It's only a short time ago we were admiring Mitch Georgiades for his technique and goal kicking, but it hasn't come off anymore. What are you doing there?
Trying to get that point of the ball to hit his shoelaces and get that ball spinning backwards. No, he actually made some good adjustments just before he went out of the side, and look, he had some more opportunities to kick goals at SNFL level than what he had on the weekend. He only had his one shot, and probably I'm not as concerned about the goal kicking from Mitch. I think he'll turn that around. He wasn't quite dropping it straight when he went through that missing patch. It's probably a little bit more around his overall game. I thought there were some good signs on the weekend, but probably a few too many free kicks against that hurt his game.
You were the first team to see Gold Coast this year in a competitive match.
Mhm.
They held up
Yes.
with what they showed in that pre-season game.
Mhm.
What do you sense about them at the moment and in the build-up to this game?
Well, I think they've been a tough, solid side for a good month. Now they've had a pretty good run of footy. They've probably not played as deep into a season for a good half dozen years. For them, their back half of the years haven't been as strong, but it looks like they're maturing as a team, and they've played well so far.
They showed up Port Adelaide with their ability to move the ball from a contest, which some other teams have done well against Port. Have you worked a way to defend that, to stop teams getting quick runs out of stoppages from it?
Yeah, I thought our work around stoppage was very good on the weekend, and all we can do is probably call to our latest game, our most recent work, to see where we're going in terms of our ability to go from contest to contest. That's something that we're looking to coach all the time to improve in. Gold Coast do have some players that are particularly good there. Those high draft picks do get you access to the players that generally are very good midfielders that can do that quite quickly. But I think we're seeing some growth in our mids and some newer faces through there.
Does it feel like this year, maybe compared to other years, it's a really open 8? Anyone can probably have a crack at it as long as you get a ticket?
Yeah, there's some good teams, isn't there, through the competition, and probably on the weekend was the first time that it was a couple of unusual results in terms of teams that were higher up the ladder losing. But yeah, it's certainly a very even year, and you look at the draw and it looks like every team's draw looks pretty tough because there's a lot of strong teams in the competition.
I'm not sure anyone's had more hit-outs than Jared Woods this year, and 208 centimetres or so. Do you sort of have to play a Sam Hayes type, or is that a bit of a myth that you have to play a guy of a similar size?
Yeah, it's as much around what we've been doing with our follow-up and our work on the ground as what happens with the hit-outs. So if the mids can do a good job limiting the direct hits, which give the opposition those hits to advantage and get out the front of a stoppage, then it's the follow-up from the team around the ball that becomes really important. So yeah, certainly it's a combination of what the ruckman can do with his hit out, but it's also what the guys can do on the ground and how the ruckman can support that too.
So we made it sound like before that Dante is getting close to AFL.
I think we've really liked what we see from Dante. He's good fun to watch. He plays tough. So he's a really good young learner as a 19-year-old in the ruck.
Did you see enough from Taker? I know it was only a few minutes. Did you see enough to show that you have a future?
Yeah, people certainly were excited by him, weren't they? I mean, we've seen so little of him even the week before. He probably only rucked about 30% of the game at Elizabeth. But his ability to run and follow up and take the ball cleanly, and he's got some really nice enthusiasm around the footy club, and he's a great size. So, look, I think there's certainly a positive future for him in footy, and if you're over 200 centimetres and you're enthusiastic and you want to learn, there's a good chance you're going to be around for a while. And I think he's all those things, so that's good for him.
It's kind of similar, I guess, to what we saw with Jack Hayes at St Kilda and got injured early, and they saw enough from him to say, we want you around at the footy club. Do you think even if Bryn doesn't get back this year, it might have a bit of a future here still?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we think. I mean, St Kilda saw a little bit more of Jack Hayes. He got to play half a dozen games. We saw 35 minutes and half an hour at Elizabeth. So, but I mean, he's been great to have around that club. He's pumped to have played a game. Disappointing that he wasn't able to be there. He was already in hospital, I think, by the time he'd won the game. But he's a good young man, and I'm sure he'll do well.
Did you see enough from Xavier to hold a place in the 22?
Yeah, I think Xavier certainly did some good things when he came on. Had a decent run at it, and I think he'll gain some confidence from his performance.